is Sonia, Thailand Trixie with Good Vibes Thailand Wellness Program and YouTube channel. And I am with my dear friend Shannon.
Hi.
And we've been friends for several years here in Phuket. And she is starting her own practice in wellness. And I thought I would go live with her and have her explain to people exactly what she's doing. It's really cool. I think it's fascinating. So Shannon, why don't you take the floor here?
Okay. Hi, I'm Shannon Ridge, and my company is called Expansion Somatics, and I'm now welcoming international and remote clients.
Okay, and tell people what exactly you do.
Okay, so I'm a somatic practitioner, I'm a trauma recovery practitioner, and I'm an energetic practitioner. And so I work a lot with trauma, with stress, with emotional regulation, and something that I get a lot when talking about trauma with people is that people have a certain idea of what that is and what trauma recovery and trauma is, and they say things like, well, I've already dealt with that stuff. I don't want to retell this story or ruminate on the past, and I totally agree. I don't think it's therapeutically helpful to go into the mind and go into the old storyline. So what I do is I deal with the present moment. What's going on right now? Am I carrying chronic stress within my body? Am I struggling with certain relationships and have those become patterns of behavior? Am I dealing with certain triggers that keep coming up and I don't know where they're coming from? And so that's what we deal with. We deal with how our past is showing up in our present experience.
All right, and so what would be your ideal client?
Yeah. So I work with all different people with all different types of issues that are coming up for them. A lot of people have chronic stress. A lot of people have dealt with addictions. A lot of people struggle with emotional regulation. A lot of people have had some type of a spiritual awakening or spiritual experience and realize that there's still something holding them back and they just want to get to the next level of that. People dealing with issues within relationships, and everybody needs a different level of treatment, a different level of care, and a different treatment protocol depending on their experiences in the present and in the past.
Okay, so and then do you work just in Phuket, or how do you get clients?
Yeah, so I work in Thailand face to face. And I've just opened up to working with people international remotely. And so I have a few clients who are in the US. This summer I will be on the East Coast of the US for about 3 months. So I will be open to working with people one-on-one while I'm there, face-to-face rather than remotely. And I'll be doing some workshops while I'm there as well.
Okay,
so.
and where will you be in the U.S.?
I'll be mostly in the Boston area, in Florida for a little while as well.
Okay, so if they are not in either of those areas, they can actually have your somatic practicing practice online.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, okay. So I'm curious, just as a person who doesn't know anything about somatics, like what is somatic mean? What does that mean?
So a somatic means it through the body. So we're working with the body. We're dealing with the physical, the energetic, and the emotional body. So when we're doing this type of work, we're going inward. We're going to where our emotions are held. We're going to where this energy is held in our body. We're going to inward rather than in the mind. So we're so used to going into the mind and changing our thought patterns and going into how can I think differently, or how can I fix this and analyze this and figure out how this all works, right? But we're not used to going into the body, to what's going on in here. We're so disconnected from our sensations, you know? And so this is a process of just getting curious and bringing awareness to what's going on internally, because that's where the healing starts, when we go inward.
Yeah, definitely. And so how does it work with, like, do you have several, I mean, there's so many people that need wellness. I mean, as a yoga teacher, I mean, I see it all the time in doing ice baths and breath work and sound bath healing. That a lot of people are seeking new ways, new alternatives to feel better and to heal, you know, and to live their life with more happiness, you know, and more joy.
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing is so cool. So I was really attracted to when I heard you were doing this. I was like, wow, I want to talk to you more about this. So give more depth into like what people could get out of the work with you.
Okay. So when I like to talk, as we talked before, I like to talk about nature when we talk about trauma and trauma response, right? So we like to talk about animals. And so a great way for us to understand how our body and how our nervous system functions is to look at a gazelle, right, on the Serengeti. So like a gazelle's running, it's being chased by a lion, and boom, its body knows how to handle that situation and protect it. It goes into fight or flight, goes into survival mode. We do the same thing. And then when the gazelle's about to be caught by the lion, it thinks it's going to die, and it goes into a freeze response, and it goes to protect itself, right? It doesn't think about this. Its body is so intelligent, its system is so intelligent that it immediately protects it in that way. And the same for us. But here's the key, here's the difference. When the gazelle realizes the lion is gone and it's now safe, what happens is it shakes it off. It shakes all of that energy off. It shakes all of that emotion, all of that fear, everything that's been built up in its system to put it into that state gets shaken off. And it goes about the rest of its life. It goes and eats some grass, runs around with his friends, and all of that's gone. It's not thinking about how, oh, that lion betrayed me, or I'm so scared now. It doesn't keep that rumination, because what happened is that energetic cycle has been completed. So what happens to us is we don't complete that cycle. So we get all of that energy stuck in our system, and it turns into chronic pain, chronic stress, digestive issues, emotional issues, addictions, so many different things. We have racing thoughts. All of a sudden we have these storylines about these things that have happened that distract us from our life and actually create energetic blockages that disconnect us from ourselves, from other people, and from our natural evolution as human beings and as spiritual beings. And we're just clearing that energy out and getting back into the body.
That's a really good point. So a lot of people, I mean, myself included, in the past hold on to things that like it's so hard to let go and then to move forward, you know. And I love that you help people move forward and get past any trauma or, you know, any negativity or thoughts or things like this by helping move it through the body. And I love that. So how would that take? Is that like a one session, or is that multiple sessions for people to?
So everybody's different, right? Everybody's past experiences are different. Every human being is so unique. So it all depends. It depends what someone comes and says they need to work on, and it depends how sensitive we are. Like some of us are totally disconnected when we start doing this work. And we're so sensitive that we've developed protection mechanisms to keep everything out, to keep everything over there. So we have to be gentle, right? We have to be gentle and allow ourselves to come into this space of awareness, of understanding, of going into that inner space. And some of us, you know, immediately we're able to go inward and we're able to have these experiences and express this energy and this emotion that's been stuck in there. But some of us can't, you know, and some people think that it depends on the experience, the trauma that has happened and what the experience was, and well, this is a big trauma and this is a little trauma, but it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the way we experienced it and the way that we processed it when those things happen, and the way that we held it in our system, and the protective mechanisms that we've built up over our lives. You know, and everybody's a different level of sensitivity too, you know, like some of us are much more sensitive than than other people are. Some of us are much more in our head than other people are. So, you know, if someone wants to do something like go into somatic shadow work, somatic parts work, those are deep dives. Those are deep dives into our subconscious, into what's really going on under there. If someone wants to do some scar detangling session, which is an energy session, and release some of those energetic blockages that have been created by these patterns, we can shift some of the energy. We can get into the body and shift some of the energy. And that would be, you know, we can do that in one session. If someone wants to work on some somatic release exercises, some trauma release exercises, we can do that in a couple sessions. But if you want to take a deep dive, it's going to take, we work gently. You know, we don't bulldoze ourselves. We listen to the body. We don't override our system, and we work gently.
And that's breath work, and then what other things that you do in that session, in these sessions?
So we work with the breath. We work with movement of the body. We work with sound, with vocalizing the energy that comes out. I work with the energy of the body. We do a lot of somatic inquiry, which is going in and building a relationship and having a dialogue open up a dialogue in a relationship with different areas of the body where things are being held. And in the end, what we are aiming for is to be able to develop a felt sense of safety within. You know, we're so used to either being totally disconnected or being hypervigilant. Most of us don't even realize, wow, I have been in protection mode for so long, because we don't know what that looks like. It looks like my shoulders are up here, my belly is tight, and I'm doing nothing but sitting and having a cup of tea with my friend. Why is my body responding this way? And we learn to go in and meet those places with breath, with movement, with awareness, with regulation. We can co-regulate with another person, and another person can bring us through this process. It feels safer, right? We're not all alone. Someone else is able to kind of guide us through this. And when the nervous system is in a state of dysregulation, there are many processes that are such simple things that we can do in order to bring us from that state of anxiety or fight or flight, or from a shutdown state of freeze, into this state of calm relaxation. And some of these things are just so simple if we practice them, and they become second nature. So there's an integration process. So we integrate these practices into our daily lives. And eventually, yes, our nervous system still works the way it should. If someone comes and cuts me off in traffic, I'm still going to go into a fight or flight response. Thank God, right? That's the nervous system working properly. But I'm not going to stay in that state for the next week. I'm going to come back down and be able to enjoy my drive down the beach or my conversation with the person next to me. So we're just learning how to live in that space.
Right. So, yeah, and that's a really good point, because hi Lulu, how's it going? Lulu, do you have any questions for Shannon? So yeah, I mean, definitely, a lot of people hold on, and I mean, I can say from past experience, hold on to things that are just, you know, letting go is just like such a freeing, you know, and finally letting it go, that you get freedom with that, you know. So having somebody like yourself to help you move through that, to get you to the other side, is pretty powerful, you know. I mean, there's nothing worse than holding on to resentment, bitterness, you know, or negative thoughts and all that. So you want to get past that. And hi Norma, how's it going? Mary Lou says, have you heard of EMDR?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So I do not do EMDR with my clients, but yes, that is an amazing somatic practice. It's incredibly helpful for trauma.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, anybody else have questions out there for Shannon and her practice? You can go online and have a session with her, or at least talk to her about it. And you know, it's all about wellness. You know, that's why I go live as much as possible with yoga, with ice bath, with breath work, with sound bath, you know, anything that can help us just reach out to the masses, because the majority of people are really seeking ways to feel better and, you know, do it in a way that's healthy, you know. And so I hope that, you know, if you can find a way, a solution for yourself that is a healthy habit, or a way like talking to Shannon. How do people get a hold of you if they wanted to talk further about Somatic?
So you can contact me at expansionsomatics@gmail.com, or you can connect with me at Expansion Somatics on Instagram or Facebook, or you can also contact me on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is +66 94 392 3247.
All right, good stuff. All right, you guys, any other comments or questions? That's awesome. So it's just another, I'm just going to share all kinds of different, you know, different ways to have wellness in your life and to heal and to feel better and to love your life. And that's what my message is now. And I love Shannon so much, and I love her energy. So I think it'd be a great person to talk to.
Thank you.
Yeah, for anything that you're looking to heal or get past, okay? So Lulu, thank you so much. Thank you, Norma, for joining. All right, take care from Phuket, Thailand. Okay, Shannon, any last words, any thoughts?
No, thank you.
Okay, all of her information will be, I'll post this video on my Good Vibes Thailand YouTube channel. So yeah, so we'll,
And if you would like just some more information or to have a chat, I'm happy to do, I always do a 10-minute discovery call with people just so they can get more of an understanding of how this work may be able to help them in their lives for their unique situations.
Okay. All right. So a free consultation, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
Okay. Kapkun Ka. Sawadee Ka. Hello. Kapkun Ka from Phuket, Thailand. And have good vibes. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Okay. Bye, Mary Lou. Hi, Abdullah. Nice. Is it paid? Abdullah says, is it paid?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it paid? Okay.
Yep. And if you'd like to call or send a DM or an email, I'm happy to talk to you about the payment details and the packages that I have available for sessions as well.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for the great questions. All right. Bye, Mary Lou. Bye, Norma. Bye, Abdullah. Thank you so much for joining.